chained like an animal. A guy in his 30s is brought from the prison to emergency because he feels unwell. The two guards with him are big, muscly guys. The patient is shackled, handcuffed, hands and feet, and the two sets of shackles are connected by a chain. I'm looking at that guy walking through the department from his cubicle to the toilet, and I'm thinking to myself, what the hell happened to that guy, man? How does somebody end up in that position? I don't think anybody wants to end up in prison, in jail. They don't want to be doing 30, 40 years in jail, sometimes the full length of their life. I often sit back and I think to myself, I'm very fortunate in my life, but that fortune is essentially some my doing, some just me being born to the right parents and to the right situation. So many people are projected to be in prison. From the moment they're born, the stats say that you'll probably end up doing some jail time. A lot of these crimes that they end up doing, some of these are obviously unbelievable crimes, and you can't keep these type of people walking free after committing such a crime. A lot of these guys are young, hot-headed. Anger gets the best of them and they act upon it. I've been a young guy, like in my 80s, 90s, 20s. I felt some of those emotions, that rage, that ego. I remember how that felt. I'm now 34 and I'm kind of on the other side of that heat wave of emotion, of that thought process, that anger, that want to be the alpha, to be the best man in the room, to have the best girl, to have the best guy. It's me, like that emotional, that fire that you have in your belly, man. I remember how that feels. And luckily for me, when I came to Australia, my upbringing was a little different to, let's say, most here in Australia, in that I grew up from a very early on. The moment I could think for myself, I thought about war, loss, displacement. How many times we moved from the moment I was born in 89 all the way to me coming to Australia in 1998. So for 9 years, we were basically bouncing around the place. The war in Yugoslavia started in 91. There was trouble even before that. But we were displaced basically in 91. And so I was 2 years old, and until I came to Australia at 9, I was everywhere. And then obviously you come to Australia, you're displaced again, starting again. My parents don't know the language, they don't have a job. It's just starting from the bottom. And obviously then you come here, there's a lot of immigrants here from Yugoslavia, a lot of them from damaged families, hurt families, a lot of anger in their youth, a lot of alcohol use by parents, a lot of depression, a lot of PTSD. So a lot of these kids end up on the street, and a lot of these kids end up mingling with the wrong crowd. All of a sudden they're part of a bikie gang, they're doing some gangster things, earning money, this, that, the other. Like, you don't need to go to school, all that kind of stuff. Is just, I kind of grew up around people like that who chose to go down that path. I think what saved me, and I'm a firm believer of that, is that my parents got me and my brother involved in organized sport from the first second they could afford it. I'm not talking about high school or primary school. Both me and my brother were athletically gifted. We played soccer over there. It's like a religion over there in Yugoslavia. So footwork and jumping fitness it was just something that you did. Came to Australia. Somehow we got involved in basketball. The sun out here is really tough, they said. Cancer rate's really high. You should kind of stay out of the sun when it's 45 degrees out. You don't want to be playing soccer. And so we kind of started playing basketball. We played basketball overseas as well, back in Yugoslavia, but soccer was always, or football really back then. That's what you don't call it soccer where I'm from. So we played football, and we came here, we started playing basketball, and then the moment I showed some sort of likely, you know, some sort of proficiency with the sport, you know, I started getting good. All of a sudden, I'm playing for club, and from the age of, I think I was 11 or 12, I was 11, I'm pretty sure, because I played under 12s. So maybe even 10 and a half or something like that. I started playing basketball. For you guys here in Adelaide, it was the Woodville Warriors. I played there. Then I played for Forestville Eagles. And so these two clubs is where I played. I think I retired from basketball, organized basketball. I think I was like 20 or something like that. That's when I kind of gave up my dreams and hopes of becoming a professional. But that, I firmly believe that had a huge part to play in me staying out of trouble. And so me seeing that guy walk like a chained freaking animal through the department, I'm thinking to myself, yes, some of his decisions, obviously, but a lot of who we are is just the environment. You know, is the environment. And I know the heat we feel. I know that energy, that anger, that want to impress, that want to be the alpha. I know what that is. And so if you have a young man raging with testosterone, raging with these emotions, and there is no outlet, that spells trouble, man. Absolute trouble. You know, now that I'm how many years I've been doing the squat every day, even before that I trained. When I ended basketball, man, I felt more volatile, felt more angry. There was a period there for about a year that I didn't even train basketball or train weights. It was just I didn't do anything. I started kind of messing around with weights later on, but there was a good few years there that I wasn't really doing anything, and I felt like I was angry. Now that I'm doing weights every single day, man, it's like the ultimate antidote to that rage. Man, once you get through 10 sets of 10 in squats, once you get through a pig squat routine, or once you have 200 on your back, you're not very angry after that. You've spent that physical force that you might have spent sending a fist through somebody's skull. But instead of doing that, you pull the 1 rep max on the deadlift. And after that, your CNS is so deprived of the energy, of the force required to even want to elicit a freaking adrenal response to somebody pissing you off. So I train and I go to work. I'm sitting there, man, and people might be more receptive to some of these stresses. I'm sitting there cool as a cucumber. Man, I can't even get my freaking pulse up from 60 to 70 because I'm so freaking tired. You want me to get upset? You want me to get upset? Some guys after work drink alcohol, some smoke, some take drugs just to chill out a little bit. Man, I go to the barbell, man. It is the best form of medicine you can think of. It is a prophylactic, preventative, it is a treatment, it is a cure, it is whatever you want it to be, man. Plug it in as a freaking start of your shift, before your shift, at the end of your shift. Just especially for men. I've been speaking about, men need to train. And I spoke in the last video about other reasons, but you need to train for just controlling that energy that you have. Male bodies, name any animal, we're aggressive, we're hunters. We're supposed to fight for the woman, fight for the land, fight for the home, fight. Then you put us into this freaking 21st century and we're sitting at a keyboard holding a mouse. We're holding a mouse, we're texting, we're phone calling. Where are we exerting our God-given physical energy? Where? If you're a 20-year-old man, 25, 30-year-old man, your body is ready for war, ready to hunt. This is what our biology wants us to do. We are hunters. No, we're not doing that. We want you to sit at the keyboard for 8 hours a day. And then when you go to the traffic light, after work, you're driving home, somebody cuts you off, you want to e-brake it up, get out and just go all out brawl. You're angry. You are topped up with energy, man. You want to stick your head through a brick wall just sitting under the damn lights. You are buzzing. You're vibrating with energy. And then some guy flips the bird on the other side of the lane. You're flipping the bird at me. Let's go, man. You get out of the car, all of a sudden you're on top of him, full mounting him, swinging elbows. Now, once the dust settles, you think to yourself, the hell happened there? Like if you watch yourself on camera, CCTV footage after an incident, you think to yourself, look at that freaking baboon. What was I doing there? I look like a caged animal. Why did I act that way? Am I that intellectually disabled that I have to go to war with a fellow human being over a traffic light? And now I'm doing 30 years in prison because I've disabled this guy. He's had a brain bleed. I've ruined his life. I've ruined my life over a red light. Because he went first through the light and I went second. That can't happen. And now I'm a chained animal and I've got two blokes that are bigger than me, 30 kilos heavier than me, watching me piss into a bowl while I'm making all sorts of sounds walking down the corridor from the chains that I've got on me. And so that incident doesn't happen if you just did some damn squats. If you did some damn training, running, swimming, playing basketball, playing soccer, whatever. Something physical, bro, so you can chill, man. I feel you, man. I know the energy you feel. If you're a healthy individual, I know how you feel. If you're a healthy male in your 20s, I know how you feel, dude. Yes, I've been involved in some scuffles myself. I just want to smash people, man. I am a hunter. I'm not supposed to be sitting at the damn keyboard. So when somebody irritates me just to 1%, I'll go crazy. This is why, like a lot of these guys that are on tren and all these testosterone tablets, they're more volatile. They're more explosive. Because even more now, they need physical exertion. If you start taking tren and sitting there at the computer, my Lord, you're not going to be a good individual. You have to release that energy, man. You have to. And so naturally, when you're 20, you go naturally huge testosterone counts. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? How do you release that energy? Something physical. And don't tell me you're just going to use your hand. Don't tell me that. That is not something that, if you're spending all of your energy using your hand, my Lord, are you being a non-productive human being? Do something physical. Build a physique. Build a body. Build strength. Build some sort of damn presence. And not only through that you will get some physical presence, you will get mental and emotional control. Look at that. Only through physical exertion will a man get control of his emotions and his mind. It's the way it is, man. You can read until the cows come home. But if you're a fit, healthy 20-year-old, you have to exert yourself somehow. Otherwise, you won't have any control. I want to give a shout out to a fella who is the latest addition to my support, my highest tier of Patreon support. His name is Rocco Yelovich. Rocco, man, I want to take a moment to say thank you. It means a lot to me, man, to have support like this from you and many other people. Your name is now part of a list, special thank you list. You guys are my number one supporters, and there have been many others. The names that you've seen on this video, all of these names at one point in time, or maybe even currently still, have supported me. I decided not to remove any of those names, and some of you guys might be thinking, the format has changed recently. I used to have the names right at the bottom of the video. Well, I've had so many people support me that I've run out of characters in the description box. I can't add any more names. Some of the fellas have come and gone and whatever, but I am not taking any names off. So all the fellas that have been part of the list are still on the list. The special Patreon guys are still there and still current, and those guys are special to me because not only do they watch the videos, but they support me, and they really make these videos possible for me. Because if I was working 1 million hours a week, this wouldn't be possible. It's just simple as that. So you guys make it a little bit more doable for me to do this, and you've created a community, and it's a beautiful thing. And guys like Rocco, add fuel into the fire, to the inspiration, to these thoughts that I have, to just let them go, unfiltered, unregulated. It is what it is. And so sometimes I say things, and sometimes I watch back videos, and I'm kind of like, hard for me to listen because I'm like, man, I'm opening up too much. But the feedback that I get from you guys, where you guys say, look, you're helping me and it's benefiting me some way, it makes it worth my while. And especially when guys like this reach out and want to support me even further than this, it makes me feel like I'm not just a crazy man just talking into the ether. So appreciate you, Rocco. Appreciate all of the guys on Patreon. It means a lot to me. Appreciate you guys. Peace out.